And now, join Kevin Hart as he dives into the minds of some of your favorite celebrities. This is Gold Mines with Kevin Hart.
Oh, welcome, world. Man, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to get live back in the studio. Actually, no, Chloe. I had Chloe, who did my last one, man. A very good one, too. Insightful. And how do you follow that? How do you follow Chloe? Goddamn. Right? How do you follow a great live interview? You follow it with another great live guest, guys. You know what it is. This is Gold Mines. And on Gold Mines, what do? We get inside the minds of amazing individuals. And today will be no different. God damn it. Something about talking comedy gets me excited. Something about talking to my own. It gets me fucking excited, man. Comedy hits different. It hits different when you talk to someone that does the heavy hitting. Ooh, that's a segue. Man, my guy's got a special on Netflix right now. Watched it with my wife. Cause I'm not good. You know why? I'll tell you this when we go. The special's on Netflix right now. It's called Okay Mister. Ladies and gentlemen, I can call him a writer. I can call him a comedian. I can also call him an actor. I'm going to call him a man that has done it right. Been in the game for a while. Man, and it's so great to see this guy get the fruits of his labor and finally get the goddamn well-deserved flowers that he's been asking for years. Please show some love to Deon Cole. Huh? That's an introduction.
Now that is an introduction.
It's a fucking introduction.
God damn.
Let me tell
Everybody got to follow that from now on.
I'm gonna make you laugh right now. So I don't watch comedy by myself. I watch it with my wife. The reason why I watch it with my wife because my wife is laughing. Then I'm like, it's funny. Because my wife is jaded by comedy. She's been around it so much. But, you know, as comedians, we'll watch comedy. And even when it's funny, we're not laughing. We're like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. Like, it's more of us, that's good. Yeah, that's a great joke. I like that. Yeah. I like where you went there. That's good.
Absolutely.
So I like to hear the laugh. And my wife's laugh is so genuine that's where I go and take it. So, first and foremost, I want to congratulate you on a new special.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, this is like the biggest production I've seen you do in the special. Like, you know, the name in the back, the stage lifting up, you coming out from behind it. It seemed like a bigger production. Was that intentional for this special?
It was actually it felt bigger, but it was a smaller venue than what I've done before. The one I did prior was like a bigger room.
Venue size means nothing. Your camera appeal.
But that production was It was definitely bigger. Absolutely.
That's where the money should go.
Yeah,
you're not
towards production.
The audience being huge and massive, it doesn't matter what that landscape is. It's about how you cover it. It's about how you're going to showcase it. Your production, honestly, it matched your stature.
Absolutely.
It looked special.
Yeah.
Which is where, and that's something I want comics to understand, man. You know, we do these comedy specials, and sometimes a lot of comics, you forget the word special. Yeah. You want it to look special. You want it to feel special. For you at this point in your game, what were the priorities for you in this particular hour versus your hours prior?
As far as like the stand-up
just
portion?
The material portion, yeah.
Yeah, it was just more like from my last special, it kind of went a little dark or whatever, and so I wanted to get back to like just funny, you know what I mean? And I was looking at what was going on in the world, and I was looking at specials that was happening, and it just seemed like comedy was taking this turn of you have to have a reason and a motive and a charity, and you have to be this dark individual and talk about your it was getting weird to me, you know. It was like certain comics that were doing specials and they weren't
a little eclectic.
They weren't being funny no more. Wasn't nobody being funny. Like everybody had a message.
We went shock factor.
Yeah, it was all of that, and it was like, where's the funny?
Yes.
Like
it got eclectic. Everybody felt like they, you know, to your point, needed a message. And for you, you're like, look, it's you want to get back to the funny, but you want to get back to the repetition within funny. So you were talking about how long it takes you to develop a set.
Yeah, it's like two years in order for me to develop a set or whatever, and it's just basically where it's like, you know, I wanted to take my time and really show, you know, get back to the funny or whatever. I read a review about a day ago or whatever, and this dude's white guy
On your special?
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, this didn't do it for me because he's just he doesn't care. He's so just calm and he's just it's lackluster. It's not. It's like it's and it's like what? So every comment got to be around this motherfucker like pie to the face." Slipping on banana peel, like what? Like, why can't it be just versions of comedians?
I'm shocked that you read them though.
Dude, no.
I'm shocked that you read them.
It came up. It
Yeah.
just came up in my thing, and I said, "Oh, let me see this." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And this dude was like, "Yeah," and I'm like,
Did you go down a rabbit hole?
No, I did not. I stopped right there. I was like, I don't want to read nothing
This
else.
is hurtful. This is enough.
I was like, this is enough.
You
I'm
ain't
not
about to
going to
fuck
read
up my
nothing else.
day.
I'm not doing that. But it's crazy how people can critique comedy. How do you do that? Like Andy Kaufman, who people used to talk about Andy Kaufman like he was a lunatic. And it's like, how do you critique comedy? Like, it ain't how you laugh. It's you laughing.
I'm going to tell you how.
Right?
And I love this is what I'm saying to the audience listening. This is what I mean when I say when you talk comedy, it just hits different when you're speaking to someone that really knows it. Here's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
The world changed when we started looking at comedy as political information, right? And by the way, this is no shot at any comedian that has chosen to, stage and partake in political humor. Great. It's dope for those that do it well. Mm-hmm. But when comics started saying things and then the world wanted to hold the comedian accountable, that's when it changed, when everybody felt like the jurisdiction and the judgment, well, it could be by all, right? And I think because of that, it did affect comedy a little bit, but the seasoned professionals, well, we can adjust while being understanding and respecting.
Absolutely.
So there was no bump in the road for your seasoned comic, right? It was like, hey, man, look, you're right. Times are changing. We should be more mindful. We should be more respectful. Absolutely. We're on board. I'll continue to go about my business as I normally do, and I'll come back with a different version of myself. That's the joy of it.
Yeah.
But when you say things like, I want to just get back to the funny, because we all did make a little minor adjustment for ourselves. And that minor adjustment, came with a different delivery. Like you said, you went darker. My last one, I went a little more edgier and raw because I'm trying to get the. I'm like, well, come on, man, we got the. We got to go back to the thing. Get back to the thing eventually. So now, as we do, well, you're going to have some people that are holding on to that time of fucking like opinion.
Yeah.
The powerful opinion on social media.
Yeah.
The keyboard.
That.
Man. You can't escape the fucking keyboard.
It's nuts.
No, you gotta dismiss it and just like, and not even look back at it.
Right.
What I think your biggest adjustment was on this one, you are, if I could give a great comparison, Jerry Seinfeld, you and Jerry have similarities. And here's what I mean by that. You're observational. Your observation off of the smallest to the largest. Yeah. Like, it's insane how your mind works and how you see things. And when you were, when you were in the days of the paper and pen and the audience, your way of observing an audience and giving that banter, it's no different from Seinfeld. Like, that's a style. And you take that style and you expand on it. And this one, you went in like a little more story. Like you had some stories attached to some bits, which was pretty dope. Yeah. Like for me to see you, you're never not taking your time. You're never feeding into the energy of what you think you're supposed to be. Your rapport is confident and it's always fucking seasoned. Yeah. But I noticed that you were in the story pocket a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to switch it up a little bit, just like you said you were with yours. It's like I wanted to be more, story oriented or whatever, and try to find a balance of, these rapid bits that I do, and then or thought provoking bits along with stories and telling these stories about the woman I was with, the older woman or whatever. You know what I mean? And so it was important for me to like find that balance. You know what I mean?
As comedians, we all realize when that magical moment was, when we saw a shift, a change.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a fan base attached to Deon Cole. Like you sell tickets, you have comedy specials, and this is not your first one or your second one. Like you now have a amazing rapport in the profession of comedy, of understanding from your audience. When do you feel the shift started? Like when do you think your magical moment of, oh fuck, it's about to get real, it's about to get different for you? What was it?
I think it was, to be honest with you, it wasn't even doing like theaters or like or even the couple arenas that I did do or whatever. It wasn't even that. I think it was my writing game.
Mm-hmm.
I began thinking more like a comic on even though I did, but now it's almost like I know what's funny and what's not. I still got to try it out, but I still my ratio of what I go is funny is at 80% rather than 50.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because we, as comics, we stay at a 50% of, is this funny or is this not? I got to go try it out.
And then I got to tweak. I got to change.
Tweak. I got to do this. I feel as though that my pen game now got me at like 80% chance I know that this is going to be funny. But at the same token, I also have to be real with myself with an 80% chance and go, this ain't going to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that was the shift in me to make me be like, I can really just write material constantly and try this out and know what's funny and what's not. And I think that's what made me go, I think I'm really onto this, and really, because you really don't really catch this shit until because it ain't just the writing, it's the shit that come along with it too.
It's everything. It's a package of it.
It's a package. Like when you do fucking Madison Square Garden and you sell out 3 goddamn shows at Madison Square Garden or whatever, there's a level of writing that comes along with that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And the balance that you have is still being grounded in the midst of that. But how do you balance that? There ain't a lot of motherfuckers that can balance.
It's so dope
being here, but still being here. And that's why it's great to even see you with your guys and stuff too, because then it makes it make sense.
That's how you balance it.
It makes it make sense when you show these moments of you being just going to the store and doing your own shit and hanging out with your guys. And it's important that you show that, because if you don't, you'll look like you just making this up in order to relate to people. You know what I mean? Because of how you are here. And so it's a balancing act with whatever level you on. And so now with this new special I got, it's like I have to balance the material that I write for the next one has to coincide with the audience that comes with this.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Gold Minds with Kevin Hart. You can catch the rest of this episode exclusively on the SiriusXM app. We'll see you next week for a full episode of Gold Minds with Kevin Hart.
Gold Minds with Kevin Hart is a SiriusXM and Laugh Out Loud radio production and executive produced by Kevin Hart, Mike Stein, Brian Smiley, Eric Eddings, and Eric Weil. Produced by Danny Sellers and Leslie Guam. Engineered by Danny Sellers.